Love really dies suddenly. Yeah, it slowly fades when couples stop nurturing that very thing that brought them together. And the good news is that love that has faded can often be rekindled. Do you want to know how? So stay with me if you want to know how. If your marriage feels distant and the spark is fading and you're wondering, what is happening? How are we feeling like strangers to each other? Then please stay with me because this message could change your relationship forever. Yeah. And I know one of the most painful experiences in marriage is watching the love you once shared slowly fade away. Now you look at each other and wonder what happened to us. We were not like this before. What is happening? You're concerned. Do you want to know the truth? The truth is, most marriages don't lose their spark overnight. It's usually happened gradually. Maybe the time that you were not noticing. Yeah. And one of the biggest reasons is that couples stop doing the things that brought them together in the first place. Maybe you've stopped doing that thing that brought you guys together. Because after marriage, many people become too comfortable. They feel there's no need for them to make that same effort. Because why? They have already won each other's heart. So they stop making efforts. But that's where many relationships begin to struggle these days. And I want you to think about it this way. Let's say as an employer, imagine you hired an employee because of their skill, because of their commitment, and because of their impressive performance during the interview process. And now imagine that same person after getting the job, stop putting in the same efforts. I mean, the same thing that made you to hire them. Because the same thing that stood out for you out of all the people that interview, the reason why you picked them, they now stop doing that thing. As a business owner, tell me how you will feel. You would not even be impressed at all. Because you would expect them to continue to do that same thing that made them stand out in the first place. That same thing that made you choose them out of all the people that you interviewed, right? Guess what? Marriage works in similar way. Because during courtship, we often give our best. We communicate more with our partner. We spend more quality time together. We show more affection and even make beautiful promises about the future. But after marriage, some of those things slowly disappears. And when the effort disappears, guess what will happen? The connection often begin to weaken. Yeah, and you don't want that. Okay? So let me ask you this question. Are there things you promise your spouse that you are no longer doing? Are there things you used to do that made your partner feel loved and valued that you have stopped doing? If so, that may be the contributing factor to the distance you are feeling now, to the distance you are experiencing in your marriage these days. And if you're feeling like that, I have 3 things that I want you to do. The very first thing that I want you to do is, I want to encourage you to remember, in case you've forgotten, what made your spouse fall in love with you. Think back to those early days. What were you doing differently that you have stopped doing? Do you guys talk more then? Do you spend more quality time with them? Do you go on a date more? Or do you guys laugh more together? I mean, in those days, did you give thoughtful gifts then? Or express appreciation more frequently to them? And if you can't remember those things that made them to fall in love with you, can you please ask your partner? I am sure your spouse will definitely remember because there's a reason why they fall in love with you in the first place, right? And once you have identified those things, make a conscious effort to start doing them again, okay? And the second thing that I want to say is, please try to revisit the promises you made during courtship, okay? Many people don't just fall in love with you, with who you were then. They fell in love with you because of the future you described to them. Yeah, maybe you promise to always love them deeply. Or maybe you promise to be more patient with them in the future. Or maybe you promise to honor them more, to respect them more, and support or to even cherish them more. Perhaps you even promise to work on those certain habits that they complain about in the past that you're still not doing now. Or maybe you create a better picture for them about the future. And now the future is here. Ask yourself, Are you still honoring those promises that you made? Because your spouse may have believed in those future with all their heart. That might be the reason why they chose you over other people. And now the future is here. It's worth reflecting on whether you are still living up to what you once said, what you once promised. Okay? And the third thing that I want to say is, I want you to ask your spouse what they need from you now. Why? Because life changes and people grow. Needs changes. Their needs might have changed. What made your spouse feel loved back then, maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago, may not be what they need now. So don't just assume, okay? Ask them. Yeah, you can ask them and say, what can I do to make you feel more loved? Yeah, I'm sure they will answer you. Or you can say, what will make you feel more appreciated now? Or what can I do differently to strengthen our relationship? I'm sure if you ask them and they see that genuineness in you, they are going to answer you. Because, some people love surprises and some people love quality time. And others may love word of affirmation, maybe act of service, affection, or support. That might be what they need now compared to what they told you in the past. Okay? And the only way you can know is when you ask them and when you also listen to them. Okay? Please, if you intentionally practice these three things that I said, you will begin to see positive changes in your marriage. Yeah, because love really fades without a reason. There's always a reason to why your love is fading. More often, it's fade when we stop doing the things that helped it grow in the first place. So, if the fire in your marriage feels weak today, don't lose hope. Don't think, oh, it cannot regain itself again. No. Just go back to what brought you guys together. Honor the promises that you made them. Learn who your spouse is today and choose each day to love them intentionally. Because sometimes bringing the fire isn't about finding something new. It's about returning to what worked in the first place. That thing that brought you guys together in the first place. You might need to go back there and start all over again. Okay? So thank you so much. And God bless you for listening to this video today. And see you in my next video.